night, good night. Wee hours of the morning. Traveling back home. 3 miles, okay. Traveling back home to Georgia. But I'm getting kind of caught up to this whole debacle with Austin Hollerman. I'm sorry to hear it's happened to the brother. I won't say I told you so, but in private conversations with another brother of the space, I did think Austin was moving a bit too fast to his own detriment. I do believe in male agency, male freedom to take flight, say whatever they need to, but we do have to understand, and this will further my agenda, and this is not to get on Austin Hollerman, to kick him while he is down in any way, shape, or form. This is mainly to prove, quote unquote, my point, and not an I told you so video whatsoever. Austin Hollerman, I think he's doing great things, but I do look at what he's doing as, or the way he's done it as a bit of a quote unquote problem. And when I say problem, I mean like, hey, do what you do, but if it blows up in your face, I could see how that would happen type stuff. And it sadly has, because, you know, believe all women is a Western civilization or a social Western civilization disease, or a social disease within Western civilization, if I was to like put it correctly. So with this social disease, a woman can really say anything, and really the court of public opinion means a lot more in other countries where there isn't, or where there aren't laws or procedures, standard operating procedures put in place to protect you in the long run, right? We saw it with Tory and Meg to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, he was still able to have his day in court for one reason or another. Austin Hollerman, sadly, it looks like he's not on the run per se, but you know, he had to leave because he probably wouldn't even make it to his day in court, you know. And that's kind of the difference between American culture, American liberal culture, where anybody can say anything, but your inability to talk or protect yourself physically until your day in court, you still at least have that to a certain extent, right? You still have to move cautiously and all that, but at the same time, like, you still have a chance. So I want to say that. I'm sorry to hear this has happened to this brother. I do think he's quote unquote young, and, you know, didn't think that this would happen to him. But this is what happens when you're looking at it from, or this is not surprising when you're looking at it from a standpoint of, you can get, how would I say it? You're always in a position to get it. Anybody can get it. Anyways, to the point. I do want to make that preface, do want to make that disclaimer, because I will be tagging Austin Hollerman in this. I hope the brother moves differently. I hope the brother moves with tact. I hope the brother moves tactically. I hope the brother learns from this, and it sounds like he is, and not really just keep on putting his foot on their necks, so to speak, but really doing what's necessary to get the word out there, push the agenda, push his own agenda, but also doing it safely, right? You know, this is what we have to fight. This is the point of, there is no safe harbor for men. So let me get to my agenda and proving my point and furthering my point. I've always talked about the Purple Pill, or I've recently talked about the Purple Pill Wars, end of last year. Happy New Year, by the way. I hope everybody's doing well. I think it's my first video of the new year. Maybe, I'm not sure. Anyways, but I hope, you know, that this is proof that you have to watch out for other people's agenda and what they're going to do to you, supposedly, and how they're actually going to try to negatively impact and affect you to put you in a position to where you're going to be asked out. You know, like, you're going to be in a situation where they can actually get you fucking hurt, you know, killed in so many different, like, you know, and that's what I mean by there's no safe harbor. oh, I'm gonna go somewhere else and I'm gonna deal with these women, so on and so forth. All they have to say is one thing. And now that they know it's been proven that all they have to do is say one thing and sully your name, and you know, other black men, I'm sure they'll come out and say, hey, listen, I told you guys so. You know, this is what I was talking about when I talked about men doing too much and ruining a black man's name in these other countries. This is what they talk about. This is exactly what they talk about. And we'll say that those men are right, you know, and I don't like to say that they're right because we understand where they're coming from and what they mean and what they're trying to say. And they were saying it in a way to shut you up. Black women, of course, like this because it shuts you up. I don't think Austin Holloman should be, so to speak, I don't think he should be shut up. But at the same time, he has to protect himself. So, my nigga, shut the fuck up. In protection of yourself. And that's just talking to Austin Holloman. Yo, shut it up, bro. Protect yourself, man. And I know you know this already. And again, even when I say shut up, I don't mean like, when I say shut the fuck up, I don't mean that in a bad way or a super negative connotation or anyways, just me talking as a dude from Florida. That's how we talk. Like, yo, nigga, shut the fuck up, man. Like, yo, calm down. You blowing up your own spot. Like, calm down, bro. Yo, chill. You moving a certain way that you won't be able to move out of, you know, or escape. So there's that. But as men, there's no safe harbor. We have to put ourselves in position and build quote unquote walls around ourselves. Talking with a brother privately, Austin knows of him and has had contact with him. But talking with a brother privately, and I said, man, you know, if you reach his ear, man, just tell him to calm it down and put himself in a position to not have to deal with this so much. And I've started to do that. I've even talking with other brothers that know me, have my number directly, my WhatsApp, and so on and so forth, email address, what have you, and my direct phone number. I've been trying to build a quote-unquote League of Super Friends, get people on, so to speak, put them in position put them in position so that they can make money too, and then build pretty much a League of Super Friends. And another thing that I'm not doing, and there will be another channel pretty soon, but it won't be announced. It'll be totally stealth, Black Ops type deal on some other things that I talk about. You guys know it from some of my other videos, but I'm gonna separate it, and I won't be advertising it in any way or linking it to this channel. And those who find it, it will be obscure, and we'll see where we can go from there. But I've been thinking about it, so I'm gonna start setting up to where, you know, buy the software and change up a couple things. But you know, those that know me quote unquote privately will probably get one or two links, but other than that, publicly, you'll find it if you find it. It doesn't have anything to do with a lot of the stuff I talk about here. It will be different subject matters, something I don't want to be known for, but I also want the information to be out there and known, and for other brothers to get on, in a sense, or other people, pretty much, because it would be black, white, whoever, to quote unquote get on. So, there's no safe harbor for us. There's no place that we can go. There's no place that we can feel protected. There's no place that we can actually rest our head and rest easy and do and say whatever we want, whatever we like, however we want, however we like. We have to understand that there is no safe harbor. We have to understand that if you're putting yourself out there, and what's going on in this world, in Western society, in our civilization, there are social diseases, so to speak, that we have to adhere to, or social norms and social diseases that we have to account for to make sure that we do not put ourselves in a jam. And this is just how, you know, look at this guy. this is just how things are. This is just how things are. It's sad. It's, I talk about unfair, and I'll use that. Some people might be triggered, quote unquote, by that word in a sense, or feel some type of way. There is no fairness, black pill, you know, reality, so on and so forth. It is what it is. But we have to see that a lot of this stuff, there's a serious imbalance in our social order, or our social practices, and that balance is not at the, you know, it's at the detriment of men, it is detrimental to men. And it is not to our, it doesn't affect us positively. It doesn't put us in a positive light. We have to understand that if we keep on moving in ways that are well known, seen by others, we're gonna have to run a lot of what we do as almost like an underground railroad. Getting back to one point, and I skipped over it or forgot it, but getting back to one point, talking about and it saddened me to say this, you know, I'm a very honest, upfront, I overshare, hopefully at the benefit of others. But we have to understand that in doing what we do and talking about the way we talk about these things, we need to build moats around us in terms of getting to us. If anyone needs to get to me directly or anything like that, you have to know me. You have to have had already known me. I don't need new friends. I don't need new contacts. I'm actually at a better, probably best place in my life that I know of. Anything could happen and ruin that, or, you know, set me back in one way, shape, or form. But I'm doing good. And I have to protect that. One thing I've said to others is that, hey, if you want to get to me, you're going to have to know somebody. Random people can't just get to me anymore like that. And for those randoms that have contact to me in terms of talking to them more, going deeper into what I do, some of my personal things, hopefully to help them out and show them opportunities or expose them to certain things, you know, people are going to have to, it's just different. You're not just going to walk up off the street and, hey, Young Grizzly, can you talk to me about this? Nigga, I don't know you. And you have not come with any type of recommendation, reference letter. You know, you ain't the cousin of a person that I've known from the Coliseum. We're not doing that. And we have to move in these ways. Austin Holloman, even more so than ever, has to move in this way. He has to protect himself even more than before. And that's just the way it is. That's what's happening. Like, when you start to see men doing well, or men start to show that they are doing well, motherfuckers really get jealous. They fucking lose it. People do not like to see you doing well. Telling you. They do not like to see you, doing things that they could do them damn selves. They just don't like to see it. It's really fucked up, man. And I'm really tearing up a little bit. Not like, oh my God, but like, I can feel the water, excess moisture in my eyes right now as I'm talking about this. People don't like to see you doing well. People don't like to see you improving. People don't like, when we talk about this self-improvement shit, Andrew Tate or what have you, and you have people coming out trying to, or you have whole governments and school systems coming out so that they can actually say things or teach people things to thwart or dismantle or mitigate the effect of an Andrew Tate and people like him. Go back to my videos about Uber fathers, Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, you know, some of the greats that are in the space, even Rollo Tomasi, Donovan Sharp, BTS Ibmore, you know, like men like these men that aggregate or are an aggregation point for other men they are trying actively to mitigate the things that we say, the effect that we have on other people, censor the things that we say to other people. Please understand that. This is not something where you can just do this and, nobody will be the wiser. They have an eye on us. They see what we're doing. They do not like it. It fucks with the status quo. And they think, and they understand that single men with no families whatsoever are the most dangerous men to a government. Why? Because we have nothing to lose in their eyes and in the grand scheme of things in comparison. And we have nothing to lose, and we are the most likely to want to tear the system down in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So they actively try and do things to really tamp us down, to get us told, to wag their finger, and to make sure we shut the fuck up. Austin Hollerman, me saying shut the fuck up is way different than the system and people that act in the benefit of the system, or the proliferation or the expansion or the enforcement of the system. Fucking deer. The expansion of the system, enforcement of the system, they're different than when they say shut the fuck up. Because when they say shut the fuck up, listen, you need to shut the fuck up and run. Because they physically mean it. There's going to be some dude that's in love with some chick or what have you, and then the government's going to come in and say, how dare you come down here and turn us into, he'll just be used as a political martyr, or he'll be used as a political pawn to further some agenda or what have you. And then the other men that are in the space, that are in in the country, they need to leave too. When you start getting questions asked, you start getting looked at differently, all these different things, trust and believe. Be fucking careful. This is what's happening to us. This is why I say there is no safe harbor for us. And I don't say that to be, pessimistic. I live with an overdose of pessimism, paranoia. Even with the things that I say, I also live with an overdose of optimism as well. It just depends on the subject matter. Depends on my outlook, and depends on, what I'm going through at that time. It's really sad, but that's what's happening. And this is why we're weak, because we have no protection. We're weak because we have no things in place to actually ensure that we'll quote unquote make it out of this alive. Other groups can pick us off easily. We do not have the backing of all black men, or a large majority, or a large swath, or collection or population of black men. We do not have the majority, or we do not have the support of our women, because even with the female support, we could be we could be set up for send-off missions, and we could be put in places where, at the end of the day, these women will not be hurt, other than the loss of our presence, which can be easily filled, and I mean that physically and emotionally, by another man of any race, whatever their whims allow. Down here with my homeboy, and some of the women that that he talks to, friends and things like that, contacts, and you hear some of the stories, man, and these women are really hurting, but not enough to do right. Think about that. You could be hurting, but you're not hurting enough to do right, to do better. to improve your situation, to put yourself in a better situation overall. You could be hurting, but not enough to do better. And this is what we're dealing with. This is how things are actually going around us. And this is what we have to understand as men, that, listen, for a lot of these women, they don't give a flying fuck. Somebody gonna come get that pussy. They talk from a standpoint of somebody will fuck, somebody will hit this, and they'll deal with what I'm talking about. These women will actively know that they can't take you to their father, but they fuck with you, or they let you fuck with them because they can control you in some way, shape, or form. That's how it happens. That's how it works. That's how it looks. That's the reality of it. That's the social disease. They quote unquote want better, want intergenerational wealth and all this other shit, but they won't make the sacrifice of losing some semblance of control, even though they're fucking with these dudes with face tats and all types of other shit. They're fucking with these dudes that are actively cheating on them, that are using them, that are not reciprocating their feelings and provision. These women are providing for men that are not giving them anything in return. Literally, they are trans-masculine. This is what we're seeing. This is what's happening. These women are trans-masculine. I hope I coined a new phrase there. We're dealing with women that are trans-masculine. We're dealing with men that are trans-feminine. And this is what we have to quote-unquote compete against. And the real ones know. The brothers that are doing right, putting themselves in the right position, have put themselves in the right position, know that this is not a competition. This is also not a game that I'm playing. This is not a level that I am playing on. I mean, you just see it. I'm seeing my boy and what he's doing for his kids. Like, I'm talking like, yo, they don't. 1 minute, my homeboy will say, listen, man, we got to do this for our budget. This year's going to be rough. And he says this shit to the kids. And next minute, he's like, he goes in the store and be like, oh my God, the one-piece shoes and blah, 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 so on and so forth. And I'm actively watching him like, all right, yeah, all right, bro. Yeah, okay. Don't worry about it. I understand. You know, we ain't got to, what's it called, with the kids, man? We ain't got to, what's it called, you know, you say things to certain kids, man, but like as a father and as a person that wants to see them happy, that shit go out the window when they see the thing that they want the most. And it's just like, it's lovely to see because you see the smiles on their face and everything and how they act. And it's just like, oh man, that's beautiful. You know, that's what you're seeing, man. And that was awesome to see, man. Like, lying ass nigga, you ain't worried about no budget. Oh, when the kids start saying, but Dad, I want this, he's like, all right, man, how much? I mean, imagine going in the fucking Croc store and dropping like $400, bro. Anyways, I'm rambling. Kind of want to watch a couple things here on this drive. I got another 2.5 hours before I get home. I want to get some thoughts in, personal thoughts in, or thinking time. But understand, brothers, man, we need to be moving tactically. We need to be moving like Spec Ops, man. Spec Ops, Sec Ops, man. We really need to be moving in a way that, you know, only the home office knows about it. And the home office is maybe a small congregation of people. We need to be moving in a clandestine fashion or manner. We can't be can't be too loose anymore. We just can't be too loose anymore. We do have to tighten up. With that being said, Austin, man, if you've reached this, if you even listen to this, or anybody that does talk with him, that listens to my videos, keep it quiet, bro. Run below the fucking, run below the radar, whatever you want, whatever fucking military term you want to use, man. Down periscope, like submerge, like, yo, gather yourself, put yourself in the right position. If they start talking about how you hiding and, now you're running scared, listen, collect yourself. You okay, bro? You okay? Just slow down. Slow down. Be safe, be careful. Men, you have no safe harbor. I love you all. Peace.